Right. I'm curious, just to change gears. How did you go from being a Baptist pastor to the world's leading mythicist? What was that process like?
Well, actually, by the time I was ordained to the ministry and became the pastor of a church, I was already on the fringe. I had for years up to that point already been pretty much immersed in Bultmann and Paul Tillich and people like that, so that I didn't really believe in the supernatural. I thought perhaps there was some sort of ground of being, etc., but I wasn't a personalistic theist.
You call yourself
And
a Christian atheist now. Do you still use that
yeah,
term?
yeah, because the God that traditional Christianity, Judaism, etc., proclaims is dead in the Nietzschean sense. It just it's incredible. It's irrelevant. It doesn't answer questions, but only makes them worse. And it strangles the creative freedom of humanity. And yet, the Jesus story can be read as Dostoevsky did, as a gospel, like Thomas Altizer said, a gospel of Christian atheism, and I that appeals to me poetically, but also in terms of philosophically. I don't know that there is a real supernatural realm of idealistic metaphysics, invisible realities. But there are certain things about certain kinds of Christianity that I admire and would sign my name to. But like, I don't really fit in with the usual secular atheists, even though I agree with them on an awful lot of things. But I can't really bring myself to go to church anymore, because I kind of look at that as the way the Gnostics did. It's kind of a delusion for the people that can't advance to the real truth of the matter. And I was already going in this way, and had gotten into deconstruction, Jacques Derrida, and so forth. By the time about 6 years into my pastorate, I tried to get re-credentialed as a Unitarian Universalist, but the more I learned about them, the more disgusted I was. So I just had a little house church gathering that we didn't exactly call a church. So I had been a fundamentalist as a teenager, but that was long in the past. And my congregation was very unusual, very eclectic, and I didn't even know what most of them believed, if anything, but they had religious backgrounds at least, and were on a search as well. And so we did interesting things like study groups on the Gospel of Thomas, and religious experience through film series and such. And so I was never a standard Baptist. I had been as a kid when I was a member of a Baptist church, but as a pastor, I was fortunate to have for a while an amenable, very unusual congregation.